Welcome to Queener Lax, Lax and Poetic. I'm your host, Bryce Queener. We're going to talk all things lax on this show with some of the greatest personalities in the sport. Be sure to check out our sponsor, QueenerLax.com, for swag, camps, and clinics. Got questions? Want to hear something? Get in our DMs at QueenerLax. Hey, thanks for listening. And remember, ABC, always be cradling. All right, welcome to the Queener Lax in the News update. Special guest joining us for this week's update show, Brett Queener, superstar lacrosse player in the PLL. Too many accolades to list for the shorter show. Brett, thanks for being on tonight. It is the week of November 11th. So today, National Signing Day. Not a football signing day, but I know softball signing. I saw some kids out there softball signing, lacrosse signing day. We used the early signing day in lacrosse. Really fun day for us at DU. We talk to these families for a while, then they sign, they get excited. So it's pretty neat for that. We think we got a great class. Check them out. Once we sign, we can announce. So that stuff's been really fun. Brett, where did you originally sign on your signing day?
It's funny you mentioned that. I just, like, as you were talking about that, I was like, oh man, like, how many years ago was that? So it was 17 years ago. So, like, the kids that are signing today for you were, like, born when I when I signed. I signed with Penn State, the Penn State University. We are Penn State. Well, I'm not anymore, but that's where I signed with.
Did you have a signing ceremony?
Oh yeah, big time. Big press conference.
Big one?
Oh yeah. Finger Lakes Times, Chronicle Express.
Did you make the DNC?
Finger Lakes Times, Chronicle Express. I wore a red flannel shirt. It was big time.
I kind of remember
Picture
that
in the paper.
I kind of remember that. I kind of remember that picture. Some of the ones are funny now with Coach Hobart. Like, I always send them back to him. Like, when Bradley signed, he's wearing this like diamond sweater. And every time that picture pops up somewhere, I send it to Brian. Cool moment though. I mean, really cool moment. So much goes into this for the kids. I tweeted today about how don't be the guy that takes the total credit for the kid signing. I'm like, and what I mean by that is, like, if it's a talent like you, right? It's somebody who's going pro. I mean, they're great. People are going to find you. So the one guy was always like, yeah, I set that up, Mikey Paul getting to Syracuse. That's the guy I'm talking about. Love clubs, love high schools, love everybody celebrating their kids. I'm just saying the one guy was always like, I set that up. It's like, no, the kid's great. That's why the kids get recruited. But it's really fun time for families and teams to celebrate. It's gotten neat with Instagram stuff. They can really do a lot with it. Did you have any guys signed down there in Florida?
Yeah, Trace Davidson today signed with Maryland.
You coached him?
Yeah, I set that one.
You set it up.
I called up Tillman.
Till's just took your word for it. Never saw him play.
Never saw him. Yeah. So kid Trace Davidson, he's going to Maryland. He was played for me since 6th or 7th grade when I first moved down here, and then he's a senior at Gulf Coast High School this year, and he's a very good player. I expect he'll be able to help out the Terps in the future.
Nice. Yeah. And one of the things I also tweeted was, I'm at Coach Q88. Your Twitter is what? At Brett Queener 23, I think.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. He's King Queener. Follow the Queener Lax Instagram and at Bryce is nice 88. Come on, follow him up. But I did say, like, hey, make sure you thank everybody. I mean, this is a great time to be able to reach out to that youth coach you had you really liked. And that was more my point. I was trying to figure out how to tweet this without being negative. I'm not a great writer, so sometimes it burns me on Twitter. But I just think it's a great celebration. And a guy like Steve Trombley, who coached us, or Bill Halbert, it's a good time to give those guys a shout out, because those coaches who make you love it are just so invaluable.
Yeah, shout out to Bill Halbert. Shout out to Steve Trombley.
Yeah, I'll send him the link.
Shout
Anybody
out to
else?
Harry Queener. Shout
Dad.
out to Scott Barnard, Brian Hobart, Scott Marr.
Some great coaches. Give them shout outs.
Shout out to Dave Huntley.
Hunts, man.
Shout out to Reggie Thorpe. Shout out to Gary Gate.
Reg, Care, the boys. Shout out. Great coaches, great people to have in the game, and it's what makes this game so special. All right, number 2. We always do the Upstate update. Brett's on the show tonight, so we'll do it earlier. Coach Witmer, really good article on justlacrosse.com. Remember, that's where we go for our Upstate news for the week. He wrote about his top venues in Upstate New York to play. So it's only Upstate New York. Don't necessarily agree with his list. So I made my own. And not like, I mean, it's his list. It's his list. It's a great list. I just didn't play.
Where is this guy from? Who? Dan Whitner. Where is he from?
He's the
Where did he play?
Oregon. No, not Oregon. Oswego State coach.
Okay.
I think retired. You make me
Okay.
Google it. You know, we should know this stuff on the show, but I believe, and his son plays with Oswego State coach. Didn't Dad go there for a little bit? 28th year. In 2010, he coached there 28 years. Really good guy. He gives us the trophy at every year at or the t-shirts at Placid when we win.
Right. I was just wondering if he played and if he was an Upstate or high school guy. So if they, you know what I mean? Like I have certain, you know, hometown favorites because of I'm from Penn Yan, you know.
Well, I mean, a lot of them were in the league, in that I think it's called the Suniac League. So yeah, like I mean, he had St. Lawrence on there. Like I've never really been there, so that's more what I meant. He's from Lynbrook. I'm on his website right now.
Okay. Lynbrook.
And he
Home of
graduated.
the Doniger brothers.
Beast. I actually talked about them earlier this week, winning the state championship.
Also, Ray Romano. Everybody loves Raymond. No, but the show was like the show Ray Romano. That's where he lived.
Oh,
Lynbrook.
okay.
Yeah.
So he played at Oswego.
I think Quinn Kesnick's from Lynbrook.
Yeah, he is. I think you're right. Who was I telling? I was telling about how we lost junior year in states on the Coyne East. My junior year.
So yours your sophomore year. Your sophomore year.
Okay, yeah. I was talking about the face-off and how we lost in overtime because they blew that. The call, like they jumped the whistle, and then there was a whistle, or the guy on the wing. But I was like, we wouldn't have won the state championship anyways because Lynbrook was loaded.
Yeah, they were good. They were really good.
Like we weren't beating them. So yeah, no, Oswego State, Placid guy. He's got great articles on there, but it got me thinking. You know, my top 10. So I'll just run you through it real quick. 1, PY. 2, Loman Field in Geneva, under the lights. 3, Evans Field in Canandaigua. 4, Nazareth College, but the grass field up top where we won a lot of sectional championships, play a lot of state games. I don't like the lower turf field at Naz, but I like the up top field. The Boz. Did you ever play any games at the Boz?
No. I was on the sideline of one game. My freshman year at Penn State, we played Hobart, but I was ineligible. So like I was on the sideline. Okay. But it was a cool environment. It was like packed. It was beautiful. Like it was like Easter weekend. It was beautiful out. Yeah, so that was really cool. I love the Boz. I mean, what did you call the field at Canandaigua?
Evans Field.
Evans Field. What did you? I don't know if you called it Evans Field the first time.
I'll have to go back and look. It doesn't have a rewind button, so I'll have to look at this later. See what time it was on the timestamp.
Yeah, Evans Field's on there.
Evans Field, which they don't play at anymore, and that's where you stood on your head there. What, were you in 9th grade, 10th grade?
Both 8th and 9th.
Big games both times.
Yeah, 10th grade we played at the high school.
Yeah. So the Evans Field's one that you stood on your head when Chapel made the game winner. You were a 9th grader?
I was a freshman, yes.
Okay. That's why I love that field. The Naz Field, the Boz. The Boz I love just because we would walk in for those Hobart games and we'd know the guys from camp, but it would take an hour for Dad to get to the opposite sideline for everybody saying hi to him. And then we would just play against the fence, against anybody we could find. We'd play a lot of any sort of game we could make up. You want to learn about some backyard games, check out the Backyard Lax podcast. Coyne Field, obviously we won a state championship there. I mentioned the Coyne East game was a great game, but the game that you had sophomore year against Lafayette.
Freshman.
Your freshman year against Lafayette when they had the Bucktooth brothers was pretty nasty. I put Fisher on there.
It wasn't just the Bucktooth brothers. It was the whole Bucktooth clan. There was like 7 of them.
There's so, I mean, that was a great game.
There's Ross, Grant, Junior, Drew, Brett. I think there was another one. There's a lot.
And that was the first game I met Maddie Palem and told me to stop crying.
Right.
That was junior high school. Told me trying to get some calls, trying to get a flag. St. John Fisher, because we beat did you like that stadium? Is that you ended your career there on a loss, I think, right? Against Lafayette?
Yeah, that was my worst loss I've ever had.
Bad. I felt really bad for you. But I mean, people at home don't know, Hans and some guys got suspended. So you guys were short manned out there. Wormuth's listening to this in Germany, by the way. He hit me up. So we should say hi to Matt Wormuth.
Matt Wormuth started on defense that game, I think.
And Ricky Simpson.
I saw he bought Bomber's children's book the other day.
That book looks awesome. I want that book.
I want to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, if Bomber, you want to send me a copy, that's cool too.
Bomber listens to the show, loves podcasts. So Bomber, Brett Scott, Brett and Jaeger can play together someday, or Jaeger. Not Brett. Did I just say Brett and Jaeger? Fan.
Sure, I'll play with him.
Yeah, you play with him, but you'll play forever. You're still in the PLL, still going. So Fisher, love it or hate it? Where'd we land on that one?
Love it. Yeah, it was great.
Number 8, I put Grand Island in Buffalo. We played. Were you on that trip? Were you a ball boy?
No.
You didn't go?
No.
It must have been my freshman year, 8th grade year. We went up there and we played, and we had to go over a bridge to an island. And I was just like, I thought we were.
That was grand.
It was Grand Island. Yeah.
It was grand. Yeah.
Had to pay toll. I was blown away, man. Just young kid from PY, didn't really leave the farmland much. All of a sudden, we're up in the city, and we're going over a bridge to an island. Like, I couldn't even comprehend it. And number 9, I skipped Pittsford. Love that field. Your first game, our first game together. OT thriller. What's the Water Dogs coach's name?
Andy Copeland.
He was out there playing the Bateman brothers.
Zero recollection, by the way. I brought it up to him this summer. He doesn't
remember a 16-15 double overtime game.
No clue. He's like, I remember he's a lot better than mine.
Yeah, I mean, yours is strong, and we had a fun couple times ball boy in there. I remember really liking that. The Hobart Quad came in as my last one.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
No carrier dome.
No, I had it on originally and I took it off. Should be on.
No Albany.
Not for me. No, I'm not a fan of Albany field. For me. No, never had. You beat us there.
Like no Herkimer County Community College.
Well, that's why you're here. That's why you're here. So we're at the Herc field. Did you play grass or turf at Herc?
Grass. They have a turf stadium now, but we played on grass. Yeah,
that's where we watched.
Half of our games were behind a Walmart.
At Herc?
Yeah, it was like just a grass field behind Walmart. It's like there was train tracks and a grass field behind Walmart, and apparently one of the first ever lacrosse games that a white man saw Native Americans playing was recorded there in like the 1600s, 1500s. It's in that same area. Right where that field
right
is.
There.
Right there, yeah. And that's where we played at Herkimer, right behind a Walmart. Yeah, I scored a backbreaker in a game
on that field. I didn't even know this. That's pretty outstanding. Yeah. We're gonna have to do a Herc pod, by the way. I hang out with Bob McGrain a lot out here, Herc national champ, and you're a Herc national champ, and gonna be a whole separate Herc pod someday. So Herc, Albany
should be a pod network.
Probably should.
Herc pod network.
Should. Anybody else? I left off like Fairport. I don't really have strong memories at their fields. One place I like playing, which is so weird, is Newark. I liked playing at Newark. Because I think kind of because we played on our lights or just because I scored a lot. I'm not sure. But that was fun. Anywhere else I forget? Upstate. Favorite venues in Upstate. Final call.
I mean that seems good. West Tennessee was cool.
That's the
going
one.
to play.
Yeah.
Going to play there was neat. They were playing like the opera music, as you're walking in. So it's like very.
Oh, they did the Phantom of the Opera stuff. I don't remember that.
It wasn't like the Phantom Opera. It was like da 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 da.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I just don't know the name part.
Cuse does the same thing.
Oh,
Cuse
the
plays
Cuse
same
one.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play the same music. So it's like, Syracuse, all their, it's like a West Genny on steroids.
Let me ask you this. Where would you rather play, Coyne Field or the Carrier Dome?
Coyne Field, because Carrier Dome sucks to see in. You can't.
For a goalie.
You can't see anything.
Yeah.
Like it's horrible.
That's true. It is that hard to see there in the dome.
I can't see nothing.
Yeah.
Even like even coaching there, like in practice, like I used to play with the girls. It's hard to just catch the ball. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't have, first off, it's weird. I don't have very good vision. So any type of obstacle with vision, the silver stands were horrible. So yeah. Coyne Field had a green hill as the backdrop, which makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. And we had some great games there. I mean, won a state championship. You got MVP, you and Mike Vanneman. Maybe Vanneman.
I lost more there than I won, but we got the one that mattered.
Same. Got to scout or recruit some great games there when I was coaching at Binghamton. It's just a great place. Shout out Mike Vanneman, MVP of the state championship game with you. He listened to the show in Japan. He's also hit me up. So that's cool.
Boner's listening? Are you kidding me?
In Japan. Yeah, he said, hit me up, said something like, hey, thanks so much. Like the one with Coach Hobart. He's like, I just love these memories. Like I haven't thought about
Konnichiwa.
it. I heard he's teaching English last I heard, but I think he snowboards out there. It looks fun.
Mount Fuji.
They call it Japao when they get the powder. Japao for Japan. It's pretty sweet for skiing.
That sounds awesome.
All right, it's a slow week in the news, not gonna lie. So we're gonna throw it back to Athletes Unlimited. Announced the new Women's Pro Lacrosse League. Just thought it's cool because they're gonna play more of the Olympic rules, like turkey shoot rules. Like I think theirs is 9-9-9, back and forth, quick shot clock. Just trying to play the faster version of the game. You coached a lot of the top players at Cuse. You excited for the new league?
Yes. But I want to hijack this news update to throw out my idea of making a newer league of men and women playing together.
Like 3x or speed or a different version.
I like what you said. I like the 9-9-9.
9-9-9.
I think 9-9-9 is a great number.
With tennis ball.
With tennis ball. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll look out for that.
Pads.
What Cuse alum are you most excited to see play in that league? You don't have to pick one though.
Well, that's a tough one. Kayla Treanor's amazing to watch play. She's phenomenal. I don't know all of them that are in it, but if any of them are, I'm going to root for them. Who's your favorite?
I mean, I'm gonna go with Kayla Treanor too. Just because you haven't coached her, she's just so nice every time I see her, and then she's my favorite like human highlight reel, and especially when I found out that she's not naturally left-handed, still blows me away.
I mean, it's true. It's really unbelievable how good she is. I couldn't cover her when I coached at Syracuse.
In practice, you couldn't cover her?
No, without fouling her. No, I mean, people just foul her all the time. She gets they get away with fouling her because she's such a physical, body that you can be physical against her. But if I couldn't take liberties doing that, and no, I had no chance.
Taking liberties. This is almost a Canadian show now. We're taking liberties. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's great. No, I messed up on that answer. I should say Katrina Dowd, who you also coached with at Cuse. And then I'm excited to watch Britt Reed, who I coach with at University of Denver. Amazing goalie. Also really good 3x player. Like, you guys are going to meet someday. I'm excited to watch you and Britt play goalie wars against each other, or full goal. And also 3x together when we get you out here. Okay, news update number 4. I'm not going to use kid's name, but there was a big time player at a big time program that news broke. He's in the transfer portal. So this is just a whole new world where now the transfer portal, with kids getting extra years and now they can go in and go out. Most times when they go in, though, they're going.
They never come out.
They never come out. What do you think when you played? If there was a portal, right? Your freshman year at Penn State, let's say, if there's a portal, like, would you have gone in it? Do you think it's good? What do you know much about the portal? You've been in high school now, what, 4 years? Last 4 years?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the portal's great. I think any opportunity to give a kid more opportunities is great. I think that that putting rules or a stranglehold on a kid's ability to be who they want to be and be in an environment they want to be is ridiculous. The thought process that a coach could say, yeah, you can go look at these schools, but you can't go to this school, or this school. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
right.
And I understood why coaches would do that from a competitive standpoint, but it's a good thing for the players. And if it's a good thing for the players, then it's good for the sport, in my opinion. So I'm an advocate of it, in all sports. This is the first we're seeing of it in lacrosse. So I think it's a positive.
I like that viewpoint. Yeah. And especially, I know in football all the time, people make the argument that coaches leave immediately. So why can't kids? It's just fascinating. I don't know how much I love the reporting. If somebody goes in, I think we should, but that's just the day and age we live in. But it is. And I remember you saying it once at camp sometime, to kids, you're like, hey, if you go somewhere and you don't like it, you can transfer. And I remember being like, oh, don't tell them that. And then the more I think about it, you're so right. And when I recruit players, I say, hey, I do not believe there's one place for everyone. You gotta, and no place is perfect. So it should be a good tool for people. And I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I know I've coached some transfers. It changes their whole life, and it's neat. And I remember when you were trying to get a year back, I was talking to somebody about it, and they were like, what's it matter if he's got 2-3 years? If he has one great year, he could get so many memories out of that 1 year. It's worth it. I think it was Lochner, actually, coaching at Alfred, that said that. Can't remember, though. All right, coaching tip of the week we've been breaking out. And since we got maybe the greatest goalie of all time on the show, no pressure.
Maybe.
I'm putting you as one.
Thanks,
Who else got 2 pro titles with 2 different teams in 2 years? That's a stretch that stat out.
I'm sure that was a good
one. True story, Rochester Rattlers and then the Toronto Nationals, 2 very similar but different teams. All right, coaching tip of the week. I asked you to come up with maybe, you can just give me one for goalies or attack or D, whatever you got. What's your tip?
My tip is to watch lacrosse and actually watch a whole game of lacrosse. I cannot believe that how many great players that I'm around that I coach in youth lacrosse, that I will talk to them about players in the game and they have no idea, no clue whatsoever. So I know that a huge advantage for me growing up was I didn't have very many friends. and I would watch the final 4 games that we had recorded on VHS over and over again. And I think that gave me a huge advantage of just knowing the game and understanding it, you know, and putting the time into watching games to understand how the best players do things and then apply it to your own game is a huge difference maker for the ones that don't.
There you have it. And I know we would tape, or Dad would tape on VHS the games, because there'd only be 1 or 2 games aired a year when we were kids, and you would watch those out. I mean, the 98 World Games, the Hopkins Cuse Final Four, the 1992 Cuse highlight tape that's on YouTube, which is still one of the best things out there.
1996 national championship game, Princeton versus UVA, was a favorite of mine. The 99 semifinal of Virginia Princeton, the Syracuse Virginia final of 99. There was a lot. There was a bunch of them. And we also used to get, which was totally random, we used to get FSNY, and they used to broadcast Hofstra games.
Yeah.
So we would catch Hofstra games every now and then.
It turns out John Donowski is a heck of a coach, because Hofstra was really good back then.
Yeah, they were good,
and they could score it. And now the Langtree brothers were probably there then.
They had a guy named the goalie was named Charlie Spruitt. He was very good. He played for the Bridgeport Barrage when the ML first started.
I don't know how you remember.
So he was like a goalie that was there that I used to love watching.
Was he a lefty or righty? I do not remember him.
I can't remember, but what is funny is, though, his brother, Charlie Spruitt's brother, was at Herkimer when I went to Herkimer, and he was the starting goalie when I went there.
Really?
Yeah. And then after I went there, like a week later, he dropped out of school.
You ever hear from him again?
Never. Nobody ever heard from Spruitt again. He was really good. Yeah. So watching lacrosse is super important. You know, seeing the best players and trying to adopt what they did and put it to my game. You know, Chris Sanderson was a big one when I was younger, of Dad talking about him, how good he was. And I watched his games. You know, he wasn't considered one of the greatest goalies ever, but man, in big games for Team Canada in the World Games, there wasn't anybody that played as well as he did. And that was a cool thing that I got to figure out, was like, even though the guys that weren't the most heralded and they weren't the goalies of the year, they weren't first team All-Americans, they were the ones winning a lot of the times. And they were the ones like being better than, you know, in the national championship, like Brian Doherty in 95. Doherty in the semifinal had like 20 something saves. They beat Hopkins, who was undefeated. But in the final, they played Rozier, who is a Herkimer grad for Syracuse. Rozier outplayed him in the final, but everybody talked about Doherty. You know, so that you see all these different types of goalies, and like you can understand that, like, even though, you know, you didn't have to be the greatest, you didn't have to be the first team All-American, but you could be the champion. You could be the winner. You could be the, you know, the best on the field. So that was the neat things about watching lacrosse, you know, and understanding, you know, how to, or just getting to fall in love with it, you know, that way.
Some good stuff there. Watch the game. Brendan Bomber was saying the same thing on the show. You know, going to the Chiefs Six Nations Senior A games. He's like, watch. He's like, that's why kids get good. They actually watch the game. They watch what's happening. Face-off update. We're gonna keep this one quick. You for it currently or against it?
I'm for a face-off.
Yeah.
For it. Yeah.
Because of momentum and just how we've always played and things like that.
Yeah, it's a battle within inside of the game. If anybody saw the PLL tournament, and like Joe Nardella was, I mean, what he was doing was unbelievable.
Where is he from?
Know? He's from Upstate. He's
Casanova boy. Yeah, he was dominant. Not a big guy.
I mean, he is a really good athlete. He's not a huge guy,
he
but
can play. So that's the thing. He can play. Like, he can play offense.
He's a phenomenal athlete, and he's a great lacrosse player too. Yeah. So I'm a fan. I love Connor Farrell, our face-off guy. He's a great athlete. I went to college with Greg Grenlian for a year and a half at Penn State. He made a huge impact on the way the position is played and the way it's gonna keep being changed or being played moving forward. So like he was a lot of fun to watch. You know, at times I used to get frustrated with like how like what seemed to be the worst lacrosse player could dominate the game, but it's an important aspect of the game, and we just have to police it the proper way. And the rules that they put in the PLL, I think, made it as good as it's getting right now, where you have put the ball down first, you keep them away from the ball on the line. It's all of the cheating areas are taken out of it. You know, there's still gamesmanship obviously in it, but I think that they did a really good job of doing it. I don't understand the not allowing people going down to a knee and making them stand up, but I'm interested to see how that all plays out this year. I got a feeling TD Erlin's going to be one of the best in the country still, even though he's got to stand up, but you never know.
Yeah, it's almost like, all right, so I was so anti-face-off, like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, just because they were doing the wrestling thing for 20 minutes. So the PLL now, the ball's coming out great. I don't understand. I think the easiest fix of all time is what they do in the indoor league, where the sticks are further back. You got to go back. The ball comes out. As long as the ball's coming out, I could care less who wins it. Jeff Snyder still dominated the indoor league. You can go 22-22. So to me, like, I don't know about the new rules either. It almost feels like when they took the U out, it's like, that's not what was wrong. That's not what changed the game. Changed the game is offset stick. So if you're just going to take a shooting string out, and it hasn't changed the game, you still can't take the ball away for checks. We can talk about stuff like that forever. Mandalorian update. You watching the new series? You liking it? What do you think?
I watched the first two episodes of this new season. I think that's all that's out right now.
Yeah.
I don't like spiders, first off. So I'm not a big spiders guy, and that was some big, the spoiler where there's some big spiders, and they kind of whatever. And then the first episode was the one on the Marshall. Yeah. Where the guy's got the Mandalorian stuff, and it was okay. Yeah, it's okay. The first season was dominant, so it hasn't approached that yet. But I'm happy. Just an update for you. I sleep on a bed that has Baby Yoda Mandalorian sheets on it,
right.
And above the bed is a Mandalorian picture of Baby Yoda.
Wow.
And then to the side we have a Baby Yoda next to it. So I'm all in on Mandalorian.
Yeah. You got me into season 1. I didn't even know about it. And to me, it's the first really good Star Wars thing since the original Star Wars. I mean, I was captivated by it, blown away. I'm reserving judgment on season 2 right now. I just feel like it feels like a show where they didn't expect to go into season 2. So we're throwing stuff at the wall. But I don't know. I like it. I mean, I still enjoy watching it. So,
I just think that they already knew they were doing season 2, and they already booked season 3, and they brought in guest stars. So like the first episode is like the guest star guy, and it's like a whole different story. And then the second one is I can't even remember what was going on in the second one. There's like, they were running from somebody, and then that's why they got stranded on that ice island.
He's trying to he's trying to like transport.
Oh yeah. He's running that lizard thing. What's up with that lizard thing being in a hot tub? Like,
I didn't understand that.
Why would the lizard thing take the eggs out of its thing to put in the hot tub with it? It's already in this case. Her eggs are in the case, and that's like the big thing that she needs to protect her eggs. Why would she take her eggs out of the case and put it in a hot tub? And she's just like naked, hanging in a hot tub with spiders all around her. So I looked away. I watched it last night. I looked away, and then I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what did I miss? So did they just cut to her in the hot tub? Because I was trying to figure that out too. Like, it made no sense to me. Yeah, she just left the ship. Went and found a hot tub. Somehow there's a hot tub on this ice.
Was she I don't know. Was she maybe trying to? Can the eggs hatch? Because that's the whole thing. Is her species is good? I don't know. Yeah,
No. The eggs have to go to the
she's
male.
got to see her husband, right? Yeah.
She's got to go to her husband, and the
Okay.
husband then.
That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Meanwhile, Yoda's eating the eggs because he's
that was bizarre too. When he's like, "How many did you eat?" I'm like, "What do you mean, how many? We don't know how many eggs there are. This is the end of a species." Yeah. This episode 2's got a lot of questions, a lot of questionable things.
Well, it's not a full species; it's just that species line. So it's like that family's species. There's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was the whole entire species, just her family. I thought it was the.
I think it's just her family.
I thought it was the fate
but I think her species is endangered. I might have to go watch it again tonight.
I might watch it too. Snow update. We're skiing. First time since really got all shut down for COVID. So skied this week in Arapahoe Basin.
I saw the pictures. It looked really nice.
You're gonna love it. I told the guy I skied with yesterday. I was like, I don't know though. He might, go too hard and fall down, but you're gonna like it when we get you out here. You ski in Florida?
Water ski.
Water ski.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
That's Lax News update for this week. Brett, thanks so much for joining. Got anything for everybody listening out there as we part ways? How does Baby Yoda make you a better lacrosse player? Let me ask you that.
He makes me realize how important it is to take care of somebody else. So baby Yoda is like my baby, and you have to, you know what I mean? So I see that I see myself as the Mandalorian, Yeah, I'm protecting Baby Yoda. I don't know.
Yeah, you went for it. Yeah.
I went for it, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I just threw it at you. I thought you were gonna say something about like imagination and like lacrosse. You can like imagine.
Well, I mean, for multiple interviews throughout my career, I've referred to myself as a Jedi, and I truly believe I use the Force when I'm playing goalie, and I believe that the Force is real. There's no doubt about it. The Force is real in this universe.
Yeah.
So some people have a stronger feel for it, and I think I'm one of those people.
Chi and energy source. The book, The Celestine Prophecy, talks about our energy fields. I really like. I think you're right. I mean, mindset, wanting to win. I mean, I've seen you flip a switch when you get in the goal. You're not the same person. You're using the Jedi Force a little bit. All right. Well, thanks so much for having me on the Lax News Update. And we'll see you later.
See ya.
Love you.
Love you too.